Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Art Killing 9505 stream, and we are with WRL Will Spin Racing League for round 10 of the season at Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium. Um, hey Kai, thank you. Of course it is. Of course it is. Oh, I can hear myself. I've got the stream turned up on my phone. Hang on. That's a bit weird. Um, Full grid again. I say again, I don't think we quite reached it last week, did we? But we're so close. We were supposed to have, or something like that. I can't remember. That was a week ago. I slept like 7 times since then. Looking at the names that I can see here. Glads is back on track, which he has been for Art this week actually. So good to see Glads getting back into it. Great driver. Let's see if his pace is still the same. He was good in Arc. I must admit he was good. But it felt like maybe he was a couple of attempts or a few attempts short of where he used to be. But I'm sure it won't take the young lad too long to get back into it. Racer 8720. Why do I feel like that's... I think that's a new driver, unless that's a name change. That might be a name change. Other than that, Hazer I think is new. Other than that, I don't think there's any others. I think everybody else is usual drivers. Abel's here, raced previously, but is actually got a full-time seat now, so he's a full-time driver now. So well done to him. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, stop it, Kai. You were retired for 2 months, lads. Retired for 2 months, and yeah. So I felt racing you last night like you maybe weren't quite as quick, because before you were blitzing me so easy, and last night you still blitz me, but you know it seems to take you a bit longer to do it. So, but yeah. Hey, Kai, you also love a bit. Oh, Simi loves a bit of hilly. Yeah, Simi loves a bit of hilly as well, Kai. Simi is a fellow driver and becoming friend as well, I'd like to think, in ERC. And is from the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Indeed, Simi. Simi, 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 Simi. I know in ERC they just call you Seaman, don't they? I'm not going to do that, Simi, 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 because I'm more mature than they are. Barely. It's Simi. Okay, Simi. I'll stick to that, thank you. That's if you asked me to have guessed which of the three it is, that's probably the one I'd have gone for, so I wasn't too far off. Also an FGE. Oh, excellent. Oh, so you know. Oh, you know Kai, but Kai don't know you. That sounds of it. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Here we go, in a way for Spa. So, in terms of laps, shortest race of the season, I think. Don't think any others do less laps. Um, but of course, it is the longest lap of the season now. However, it's not that much longer than Singapore, but Singapore does a lot more laps. So that's better, Kai. It's alright seeing me. Kai's getting on a little bit, and just takes a little bit of time for his memory to kick in. Really? Because you don't stop in ERC. Right, in a way. That's enough taking a mick out of the viewers. So round 10 of the season in Wheel Spin Racing League. It's a full quality 50% race, by the way. We're going on time, which is great. We were a little bit late last week, so... Standings. Let's have a quick look just while we're waiting for someone to get on track. So, at the moment, got Supply Raptor is leading the way on 83 points, followed by RP1 Yan, who's actually only done 4 races, but is already up into second on 74 points. Extremely fast driver. Glitch, 71 points. Pick a local on 61. Then we got Kai, then's Kai. The man that we're supporting, 42 points, with Ghost Rider just a 1 point behind on 41. That's our drivers. We've got a few cars coming out on track by the looks of it. Who was first? I think, is it Williams? Oh no, there's a Haas in front of that one. It was a Williams though that I was referring to, but there's a Haas in front of him. So looks like Hazer is out first, which is great news because that's a new driver. So we can do the hilly hot lap with a new driver as long as he stays in front. So in terms of constructors, by the way, Williams is leading the way. So often seems to be the case in WRL, but they did only pick up 1 point last time round. So in Zandvoort last week, they are leading the way on 237 with a big 94 gap to Alpine. Then Mercedes is in P3, so third place in the constructors is a real battle. We got Mercedes and Red Bull very close, 105 and 90. And then there's quite a few teams after that. So McLaren, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, all fighting for P5 at the moment, but not that far off the top 3 that they couldn't get back into it. Plenty of time to go in the season. So, hello Matthew. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I get you, Kai. I get it with leagues. There's so many leagues that do get sometimes. Right, we're on board. So let's do the hilly hot lap. So Hazer comes out the chicane, picks up the DRS, heads down towards turn 1, usually down to either second or third for turn 1. Look to straighten up the wheel as soon as possible to get on the power. Head, keep it over to the right hand side here. This will open up your entry in to Eau Rouge. Sounds like there may have been a slight lift, although that might have just been the turn doing that. DRS open all the way down to the end of the straight, where we break down to third or fourth. Right, left, usually gear up for the next right-hander. Head down to what is a very long-winded hairpin. Second a bit low, third or fourth usually suffices for that one. Fourth or fifth for the left-hander. Then we head down to Pouon, which is this long left-hander. You've got to nail this. It's a lot of lap time in this left-hander. So I think that was a bit slow, but that's okay. He's just looking to get a time on the board at the moment. Down to the right-hander, usually fifth or fourth. And a bit of snap. Snaps a bit on him. It's not invalidated the lap. He can still get a time on the board for himself. As we go into the two right-handers, the second of which, and that is a spin. And that's the moment where I think, I hope he wasn't listening to me and I put him off. Right, here we go then. So down to the two right-handers. First one pretty simple. The second one on this year's game is a bit deceiving. And I think I see more spins on the second right-hander there than I do for Eau Rouge now. So then a couple of left-handers that are absolutely flat out. We head up to what used to be called the bus stop chicane, usually taken in second. So it used to be called the bus stop chicane, it's just rather boringly just called the chicane now. And Maxwell Van Beest heads into the pits, so we don't actually complete the hilly hot lap, but I think we got the gist of it in a way. Anyway, first lap on the board tonight is 47.6 from Black Reaper, Ghost Rider 47.8, 45.5 from Racer. It's got to be JD Racer, hasn't it? So it's not a new driver, it's JD Racer. It must be. Right, who else we got on the way? Lads. Comes over the line, 144.3. good start to the night for Glads. Remember, this is just about getting through Q1, so you're not really, well, the guys that would usually be at the top, you don't really normally see them put in massively fast laps on the board in Q1. So it's got a little bit of a lag then. Well, I wasn't going to talk about your 10-second penalty last week, Kai, but it appears you just did, so yeah. And Matthews always join in, so thank you very much, my friend. And into place goes into P2 then. Who else we got? It's a Ferrari on its way. We'll find it in time. And now they've already done a lap, so it's not on. Right, let's do a lap here then with Chespin. I'm going to continue to call him, because I've still got no better idea of what to call him, so Chespin in the Williams heads up to the end of the straight. Just wondering what sort of cut-off. Say the pace is usually very good in WRL, so cut-off for Q1. I expect to be in the 46s somewhere. It may even be in the 45s, but we'll get a better idea of that as we get closer to the end of the session. But we'll go on then. It's like a decent lap so far. Be careful with that curb on the inside there. Not one you ideally want to be touching, particularly in a race early in the race when you've got a high fuel load. It'll spin you around. Merc stays well out of the way. I have no idea why did they change. Anybody know why they changed the name of the chicane? And don't tell me this because buses don't stop there anymore. I know that. So 45-0 from Chespin puts him into P7. Already into the 43s with Golden Tornado. I really don't know what to expect for pole, but I wouldn't be massively shocked to see a 42. As Kai puts in a 43.6. Yeah, so if Kai's capable of 43.6 in Q1, I'm sure Jan is likely to be doing 42s when it comes to the actual pole position shootout. RKA then heads to line 44.6, goes into P6. I'm sure that's going to be safe. So I'm not 100% sure what to expect the cut-off to be. Track that's been in Formula 1 now for quite a long time and is considered one of the gems of the season here at Spa-Francorchamps, going through the Ardennes Forest. Some, certainly in my age, will remember some unbelievable races around this track. It's definitely one of the great, well, in my opinion, it's the greatest racetrack there's ever been. It's quite old school. Yeah, certainly in real life we've had some incredible races. Remember the start where everybody crashed would be the one that sticks in everybody's mind, but some great races in the rain. With Schumacher going directly into the back of Coulthard when he was going up. He arrived on the back of Coulthard to lap him. Went straight into the back of him because he couldn't see him, because the spray was that bad. Couldn't even see the red light flashing on the back of the car. Anyway, Van Beest into P10. like the two Aston Martins are out. Oh, Bob just on towards the line here. So 46-0 from Bob, puts him to P13. Abel's here, 44-4. Puts him up into P6, so a nice lap from Abel's here. Raptor and Jan both out on outlaps now. Quick look at some of them, see if there's any improvements going on. Oh, wait for them to start laps. So Baz is just out the pits. Ghost Rider. A little way to go. Jan, having just come through Road Rouge, and he's onto his hot lap. And Raptor not that far behind him on track. So the only thing at the moment, we haven't got times on the board either of them yet, so we've got nothing to really compare to. The track map is showing purple in sector 1. It's hard to know if that's actually accurate. It's not always accurate when you haven't already got a time on the board, so... Right, keeps it inside the line at Pouon. Not to invalidate. Head up the back straight then. Yellow flag's out for a car ahead. Hopefully the car realises, and they do indeed. Well done. Get nicely out of the way. And through the chicane. So Jan gets his evening off and running with a 43.7, puts him into P2. Raptor is out. Raptor has, I missed that, but he's crashed. So our championship leader is out of qualifying and will start from the back of the grid. That's a shock. Gives opportunities to other drivers that may normally be on the edge of Q3. And of course Q2. As the final driver that hasn't set a time yet then starts their flying lap. And let's just quickly nut to go. Oh, no, he's invalidated. Okay, go back to Jackal. Passing through Eau Rouge. To yellow. That appears to be Jan. I think he was just moving out of the way of a faster car on track, so no actual issues. A lot of inside curb there. Definitely need to use the curb there, but that may have been a bit too much, but it's not too bad, of course. Just looking to get the time on the board at the moment and get through to Q2. And to Q1, Jan miles out the way. Comes off the power well there so as not to invalidate. So it will affect his lap time, but at least it's not put the whole lap in the bin. Nicely through the second of those two right-handers. And we head up to that's out left and up to, I'm going to keep calling it the bus stop chicane, even though I know it's not anymore. Still going to call it it because that's how I know it. So Jekko heads to the line, 146.3, puts him in at P17. Now, has he got the fuel to do a cool down? Because he needs to do that Reaper out on the mediums, but doesn't set a time that gets him through. And they're not going to have time to pit. to get to softs. So, and now he had a lot of energy left actually. So, yeah, he's still in the 70%. So actually, I think this is the proper hot lap. Could potentially have used the back of Checo there to get a bit of a tow, but decided not to. Hey Taz, always mate. Matex, hello. Oh, thank you Matex, you legends. Still remain my top subscriber. Absolutely love you, man. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Always Taz, as I say. Yeah, La Chicane see me, so it's literally called The Chicane. How bad is that? As Black Reaper spins it and has caused damage into the wall, so that will be... Oh, careful. That will be the end of his qualifying, because as you can see, there is no front wing on that car. He's going to be struggling in a way on the mediums, I think, to be honest. Shouldn't be retiring on track, Black Reaper. His ticket round to the pits. But, to be fair, that may have been safer in that situation. So we go to Ghost Rider then, who's sent to get through to the... It's the way. Inyala. He retires out. Good drivers. As Bob Dylan crosses the line and goes into P15. And I'm sure my eyes aren't deceiving. We're going to lose Glitch in Q1. We've already lost Raptor because he's crashed. Glitch is in the pits. With nowhere near enough time, so we're going to lose Glitch and Checo. Huge surprises, so it's all about Ghost Rider then, and whether he can displace Bob Dylan and potentially get a Q2 appearance. And Ghost Rider is a second and a half up. And what's Bob's time? 45.6. So actually that's not enough. He still needs 6/10, just over. Engine sounds so... I don't know. It's AlphaTauri, and we're not unrealistic in a way, we're unequal, but the AlphaTauri in a straight line is one of the quick cars on the grid in my... Well, it is definitely, I was going to say in my opinion, it just is. It's not bad opinion. In a way, Ghost Rider moves into 16th place, so Bob Dylan will be through to Q2. Well done, Bob. And Racer, who's this? I assume is JD Racer, I don't know. That's a bit close for him. So, I could be wrong, that could be a new driver, I don't know, if I'm honest. I don't know if any of the other drivers know that maybe have the stream on, could let me know that if Racer on the PC is actually JD Racer, or whether it's a new driver. And Maxwell, already P13 in a way and safely through, but improves his time and goes up just ahead of his teammate and into P9. So that is the end of Q1. We've just got Bob Dylan, who's just coming into the pits. He's retired for us in a way to speed things up a little bit. So there we have it. We'll head into Q2 with pretty close looking grid at the moment. So say it's the longest lap of the season, so you do expect the lap times maybe to be a bit stretched out, but look at that, Black Reaper and Glitch doing their best times on mediums but not getting through, so yeah, there you have it. But well done to Bob Dylan, who's got through to Q2 this week in the top 15, and they're all through, separated by 2 seconds. And of course, you don't know how many of these guys have actually done their proper fastest laps. So, pretty good, I think. So, with it being the longest lap of the season, you would expect the lap times to be separated a bit more than you would at the likes of something like Austria, for example. But really, Kai, like, I'm glad you didn't. Um, Maytech supporting Jan. Thought you might be. Brilliant driver. Oh, thanks, Kai. Okay, 90% sure he is. Yeah. So expect to see him go quicker than that. He's normally much further up the order. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to take a hazard a guess that that's the second of the two right-handers because it's an absolute nightmare this year. As I said early on in Q1, I definitely see on this year's game doing commentary. I see loads more people spinning on that corner than I do through Eau Rouge this year, which has never happened before on any of the other games. I don't know if Spa was one of the tracks that has been lasered or not. I don't think it is because there's not actually been any changes to it, has there? So it was only the tracks that were either new last year or have actually had changes to them. So Abu Dhabi, for example, in Spain.
What are you worrying about?
So then, sorry, let's go to the driver first out, which appears to be a Haas again. So, do you remember actually we watched Hazer, we were doing the hilly hot lap with Hazer right at the start of Q1, so we saw him spin, but obviously in the end did get through. Give it another go here. Oh, there you go. Spinala again. Oh, it's of course Haas. Is the AlphaTauri going to overtake him? Probably a little bit annoying actually for the AlphaTauri. He probably needs to slow down a little bit now. Back off. Obviously a tow around here would be lovely, but the problem is that you may actually catch the car in front and then you're screwed through sector 2. It's all about the downforce. This is one of the tracks through the season where Mercedes and Red Bull tend to set up differently, don't they? So Red Bull's always sort of been better on the higher downforce circuits than Mercedes. So generally over the years, admittedly I didn't watch Formula 1 last year for the first time ever, but generally over the years you've seen a massive advantage to Mercedes through sectors 1 and 3, but a gigantic advantage to Red Bull through sector 2.
Why?
So, anyway, let's go to the onboard. So Hazer. I think Will Spin Racing League WRL here is, since I joined, it's the third season now I've been doing comms, and I know I've said this before, but it seems to have new drivers and new people watching every week, so we do take in an incredible amount of drivers, I must admit, through WRL, but the pace in this league really is exceptional, and there's plenty of drivers not racing tonight that usually do, that are exceptionally quick as well. It's, Hazer looks like another good one. And the 44s there, so 44.4 for Hazer. Gets Q2 underway. I don't know if anybody saw Monaco. As Golden Tornado goes into the 43s and 43.805. So yeah, I don't know if any of you guys saw Monaco. We got a spinner in there, Rouge. He's I'm not going to get to him in time, but it's an Aston Martin. Here we are, it's Bob. So yeah, seeing the 109.3 pole position time at Monaco was a huge highlight of the season. That driver only did one race. That was the one race he did, and he set 109.3, and then left. So. Comes then through the final corner. 143.6 from Glads. He's not lost it, see? He's not lost it. So maybe me feeling like I was a bit closer to him last night was actually me being a bit better rather than him not being as good. Never know. Oh, I doubt it. There's Bob, he's invalidated, so JD Racer then. Gas gets used to just calling Racer. On the medium tyres. So there's every chance that a lot of the lap times we see early in this session, as you can see JD Racer using medium tyres, but some of the other times will have been done with used softs as well in Q1, so yeah, I don't think we're getting proper reflections. So 47.2 from Racer. He's been trying to blow his engine up on his out lap. Just coming up towards the end of the lap, ready to start his first flying lap of Q2. The other one I could check would be Racer again to see if he's going quicker. It's only a tenth and a half down in sector 1. No, he's not no energy, so it's not going to happen. So let's go back to the Red Bull. So here's all the track, as you can see. Really, the idea of Eau Rouge, if you want to be quick for Eau Rouge, what it looked like Kai just did there, and from what I've been tell playing the game, is generally you need your steering inputs to be as little as possible, so reduces any chance of you spinning, but it enables you to take as much speed as you possibly can going through as well. So go on. Bit of lag at the moment. Runs out wide on the exit there, but hasn't invalidated. And he start Q2 as well as he start Q1. So at the final corner, Kai goes fastest immediately again, 43.5, loving Spa at the moment. Go to Chespin, who's glad to say his engine didn't blow up on that out lap. He's on a hot lap now in the Williams. So it is equal performance, remember, so as much chance of being on pole in a Williams as you are in a Red Bull. Tornado, 43.8 feels he's done enough. I don't know if my cut-off time that I said was anywhere near right or not. I think I said in the 45s. I think he was in 45s, but wasn't it 45.6? I think he was. So, yeah, so you've got to think they were going to be in the 44s this time. I'm going to say 45 points, as 44.6 as the cut-off. Q2 would be my guess. Through Lashikin and into P7 for Chespin on a 44.9. I think he's going to need to improve on that before the end of the session, but I don't know. As I say, I could be wrong. At the moment, I'm nowhere near a 44.6 as a cut-off, but some quick drivers still to set laps. That's an invalidation from Tomo. Let's head to Alfa Romeo instead then of Jan. Sector 2 is very scary, yeah. It is when you bombing it round, mate. A very nice lap from you. Comfortably sees you into Q3. And Jan then at the final corner, across the line to a 43.7. Amazingly puts in P3, but comfortably flew through into Q3, and I still think that we haven't seen anything like what he's capable of yet. So we'll obviously find out in Q3. Right, next then. So quite a few as well. Someone obviously invalidated his hot lap, but so he's going again. But average leaving it quite late, to say the least. Hazer is just retired out in P7 on a 44.4. I thought 44.6 would be the cutoff, so he's technically, going by my logic, he should be safe. But there is still, if they do manage to get proper laps in rather than invalidations or laps with mistakes, there's plenty of drivers that can improve yet, and are certainly capable of it as well. Sounds like another slight lift then. Head lines, looks like it's going to get him through, is it? 44.4 puts him into P7 and ahead of Chespin. It said P7, but on my screen it's just, oh, somebody else has just gone up. Tomo's just gone up into P4. Well, believe it or not, guys, that puts Jan in. Well, no, Jan is out. Jan must have crashed on his in-lap. Jan's not in trouble, he's out. Chespin 44.9 is the man to beat. It's an out lap. Oh, Baz was up. He's spun it. If I've read that right, and it's a minute and a half to go, he's got plenty of time to be able to get round. He's going to have to get the tyre temperatures down, but 3.5 temps then up for racer, just reset to 1. Ran out wide through the right hand there, and then he's gonna have to go with this, you know. There's a couple of little mistakes there, but I don't think he's got. Oh well, it's probably quite tight. I don't think he's got long enough to get round. I think he's going to be crossing the line pretty much as it goes 0, so I don't think he can get around to start another lap, so I think he's just going to have to stick with this. Maxwell is just... Oh no, sorry, I had the wrong car. I thought he was heading for the line, Maxwell. So, goes up as Bob Dylan retires from the session. That is in a rouge. So Bob Dylan's crashed on his hot lap as Racer crosses the line, and he didn't cross with enough time to go, and doesn't improve his time. So, and he used his energy. If you remember, he set that time on a medium, so I'm really shocked at that. Chespin then, the last one. So Maxwell went into P9, which knocked Chespin out, but oh, well, he's round, so that will be the end of qualifying for Chespin, and we're going to have a top 9 shootout then, rather than a top 10. Always a happy hilly, Taz, always a happy hilly. So, there we go. So, Kai fastest, Glads P2, Tornado 3, Somo in 4, RKA 5. Well, Piccoloco, Hazer, Winter Place, Maxwell, all through to Q3. Jan, who crashed on his in-lap, would have been through to Q3, but will not take any further part, and we'll start this race from P10. Chespin 11th, Abels here 12th. Baz in 13th, Racer in 14th, and Bob Dylan in 15th. And there were most of the incidents there, but we're heading to Q3 then, as I say, with just the 9 drivers. No, you're not, Kai, come on. It's 2 big drivers, well, more than that actually. There's at least 3 big drivers out, I'd say 4 or 5. But I guess Jan is probably the real big one. I would say really opens up this pole position shootout now. For me, the top 3 here, I think Kai, Glads. Oh goodness me, trying to name a third. And it could be Tornado. He's performed very well. Tomo as well as her. Do you know what? The thing is, Hazer I don't know that well, but has performed well so far today. Well, I don't know him at all. But looking at the other 8 drivers, they are all capable on their day of putting in a really fast lap to take pole. So this could be one of the most competitive Q3 sessions I think I've ever seen, potentially, hopefully. But this league, Taz, the one I'm watching. Or have I promised you a link previously that I've completely forgotten about? Yeah, this one we're watching, okay, WRL. Yeah, so, yeah, certainly can, mate, no worries. Who was first out anyway? Looks like an Alfa Romeo, so that must be RK8. So, not much you can really do in Q3 here. It's literally out, do a lap, go round again, pit, leave it a couple of minutes or something, out, do a second attempt, and pit again. It's there's not really much time to play with the length of the lap and the lack of time in Q3. Wide of Apex there, RKA, and that's the end of that attempt. Straight away, let's go to Golden Tornado, who Straight through the ghost of RK8. Nicely through our Rouge. So I don't think we're going to see a 42 now, but we're just a bit quicker than what they've been before. I think potentially a low 43. We'll take pole here today, I think. Oh, that invalidated. That seemed a bit harsh, that invalidation. I'll be honest, that did seem a bit harsh. So, the first two drivers both made mistakes on their first attempts. Hello, Boss Manuel. Thanks for dropping in. Have you signed up to race in the 8 o'clock tonight, or are you working? Need to place 2 in the pits at the moment as well. It's nicely done from Kai so far. Looks similar laps as Q2. Here he comes then, and it's a 143.4, so expected low 43 for pole. That could be it. Guess that one's more sort of mid 43, but that could be pole. We'll have to see. There's plenty of drivers capable of sticking in a really fast lap. Hazer 44.5. Glads is invalidated as well. That doesn't look like Tomo's driving fast there. Loco has invalidated. I didn't say this, but on the first runs, it's looking to me. Yeah, so on the first runs, it's only the two, Kai and Hazer, that have actually got times on the board. And Winter Place never came out the pits, so... Well, Tomo's put 53.8 on the board, but... well, I guess if people mess up the second runs, that could... It may actually turn out to be important to have that. Never know. So that Loco started another one for us. I think Maxwell did as well. Yellow flags up where Maxwell is on track, so I think he's made a mistake. I think he's out of fuel, which is... Yeah, the yellow flag's following him around the track, which usually indicates the driver's out of fuel. I can only assume he didn't realise he was as low on fuel as he obviously was. Yeah, see me. Well, it's they're gradually working on it all with the lasers, aren't they? They've lasered. Is it about 8 tracks now? I think they've done, and those tracks, in my opinion, are better. I assume for 2023 there'll be another 4 or so. One of those, of course, would be the new Las Vegas track, but I don't think I'm the only one that's not particularly looking forward to that. It looks so boring, the layout of it. Aaron gets well out of the way. Loco as we come up to the bus stop. Here he goes then. So Tomo, by the way, got a 43.6 on the board with a second run. Piccoloco 44.0. Maxwell still going around with no fuel in the car. Did Golden Tornado cross the line? Yes, he did. So I think this is a hot lap. Yeah, picking up tow the Ferrari. I had quite a funny moment last night as I raced Brazil last night. I come off the final corner, and my intention was to give my teammate a tow up to the start-finish line for him to start his lap, and basically I just didn't do it right, and he almost crashed into me as he caught up to the back of me, and I went to move. I moved left to go over and get out of the way because I hadn't started the tow properly, and I was in the way completely. So I moved to the left, but he moved to the left to go past me, and then had to come off the power, and I completely messed his lap up. He was luckily. It was his last attempt in Q1, but luckily he got through in P13 in a way, but rather closer than fired there really to the Haas, but I mean, it's absolutely fine. No contact was made, so it didn't matter at all. But so through the chicane. Look at the time, it looks like a decent time from Tornado. 43.3, it is indeed, goes fastest. And that's low enough, I'm counting that as a low 43. So, just thinking though, that will be his last lap. So, see if he holds on to pole position for that. Taz, I just thought, if you want the link, mate, there's no problem with that. Could you perhaps direct message me on Discord so that I don't forget, because by the time I've finished, I won't finish commentating until 9:30 tonight, so I'll probably forget. So just send me a message as a reminder. Glitch, really shocked. You're never out in Q1, so that was a real surprise, but hey, plenty of time to fight your way back through, man. That's true, Kite. You have had a 1/10. You need a bit more than 1/10 this time, though, on the last run. Are you doing the last run? I'm gonna suggest. Yeah, your car's moving in the pits. Yeah, just about to see that. Not leaving a lot of time to get round the track. Yeah, see me. You're probably right. Well, it's in my opinion, I'd said it earlier on before you joined, but in my opinion, it is the greatest track of all time. Certainly in terms of entertainment that it's provided the fans of the sport over the years. There are some other tracks now. I think Baku is one of the great tracks. I know people don't like it on the game, but that's because of the way it is on the game. But in real life, it's a superb track. But yeah, the recent talks are, I know they've signed another year now for Spa, but when they were talking about the possibility of losing Spa from the calendar, I couldn't believe it, quite frankly. It's 43.5 from RKA, that's a very nice lap, puts her into P3. And the two Mercedes are next to each other on track. I don't think there's anybody else. They're all out laps, I think. Yeah, they are. So, if I come up here, Winter Place was first out of these three. Got Winter Place, Glads. No, sorry, Winter Place, Maxwell, then Glads. I believe it is. So we'll try and quickly move to them. Really close together. Oh, Winter Place is round. So let's go to Maxwell then. And yeah, no, we're out of time, so Winter Place isn't going to get a time on the board. We may regret now not coming out for a first run on an old set of tyres or something. I always go out, I don't know about you guys, but I always go out on an old set of tyres in Q2 and Q3 to do my first run. So I just like to have a target time on the board so that I know I'm improving when I actually do my proper run. And I can get an idea, you know, when I'm on a straight, I can take a look up at it and get an idea of how well I'm improving. So Van Beest then, 44.2, puts him in P6. Glads at the final corner. Can he get a pole on his return to WRL? It's not going to be pole, but it's P5. 43.7. The top 5 separated by just under 4 tenths. And Loco is invalidated. I think he's done that through Pouon. Hazer is going slow, so... Oh! And Tomo then spins as he goes past his teammate. So I think that's it, because that's all the guys that were on... Oh no, Kai was on a lap as well. This looks quick. 43.2, he takes pole. Just over a quarter of a second improvement for the Red Bull man. And that is pole position. Nobody else. See, Tomo was improving, but we saw him spin. Finishes crossing the line, but so he was on an improvement now, and maybe going to go a bit higher. But shame. TTV Glads is 5th. Qualifying, you know you've got a good league, good pace in your league, because that man is quick. But there we have it. It's going to be an interesting grid. Jan starting in P10. Glitch, was it 16th or 17th? I can't quite remember. And Raptor down at the back as well. There's going to be some interesting people coming through, as well as these top guys that, as you can see, are very, very close. Half a second covering the top 5. So I think, yeah, we should be in for a really good race. Let's hope that it goes like that. Spa can. My experience of Spa in this game, it sort of goes one way or the other. You can have great races around here, but they can go a bit wrong sometimes. Let's hope it's a great one. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna nip and get myself a Golden Tornado. Unlucky, mate. All in. It's all Kai. Guys, I'm just gonna nip and get myself a coffee, because we don't usually take too long between quality and race. So in WRL, so I'm going to grab myself a quick coffee so that I'm back in before the end of the formation lap. So I'll see you in a moment. Right, guys, back with you. And as you can see, as I said, we don't really take much of a break at all, so already out on the formation lap. Now then, a quick look at the tyres situation. So, this guy has a little bit of a spin, and that's disqualified him and put him back to the start line. I reckon we should start. I'm going to put this forward in all my leagues, I think we should start handing out penalties for spins in qualifying. Not in qualifying, sorry, in formation laps. Anyway, as you can see, the top 5 starting on the hards, then Piccoloco's on the mediums, with Maxwell and Hayes are both on hards behind him. So that's interesting. And Piccoloco, if he looks at the race director, might fancy that a little bit. He might fancy the fact that he's on an opposite strategy. Winter Place, Jan and Chespin all on mediums, and Abel's here. Hards for Baz, mediums for Racer and Bob Dylan, Ghost Rider on hards, mediums for Glitch, Checo and Black Reaper, and hards for Raptor. So, will depending on which way you're looking at it, a good or poorly timed safety car come into play as the lights begin coming on. And out they go, and away we go. And Kai looked like he got off to a decent start, as did the McLaren in P2. But the Alfa Romeo split the two of them, and I think probably wisely got out of that a little bit, because that could have ended in disaster. But the Alfa is up into P2, Golden Tornado into the lead. And Kai will follow through Eau Rouge. First time through Eau Rouge on reasonably cold, hard tyres is not going to be fun. And he picks up a 3-second penalty already for that. It was a bit harsh. But, there we have it. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like... Oh, the safety car's out. We've lost Abel's here and Glitch. Wow, okay. So both of them out at Eau Rouge on lap 1. Not massively shocked at an incident in Eau Rouge on that one. Happens quite often. Whether it's actually contact trying to overtake through there, or whether somebody's just made a mistake and collected another driver, I don't know. But these things do happen. I'm not even going to comment on that. That's the penalty. Anyway, so Golden Tornado leads, RKA P2, Kai P3, Glads in 4, Piccoloco 5. Let me just get the position changes up. So top 2 up 1, Kai down 2. Next 3 drivers all up 1, Winter Place is up 2. Hazer where he started, Tomo's down 5, Chespin up 1, Jan down 1. But the biggest gainers, the 2 biggest gainers, both joints, are Black Reaper and Raptor, who both made up 6 places at the start. In terms of still in the race and positions lost, Tomo's our biggest loser off the start line, down to P9, but plenty of time to get that back as they come round to pick up the safety car. So Baz, Checo, Ghost Rider, all in. Now then, well, the interesting one here then, in my opinion, is Baz. Is it? Is he on his way there? No, who is it? Somebody's had mediums on. Don't tell me whoever had the mediums on didn't pit to the hards. You've got to at least try and get them to the end. Ah, yeah, there you go. Checo. It must have been Checo. So, yeah, presumably Checo will attempt to take those to the end if there were to be no more safety cars. And Checo is probably someone that can, because like his namesake, Checo is one of those drivers that does seem to make their tyres last a bit longer than others. So it won't be easy. It's 21 laps that you're asking your tyres to do on a set of hards. That is hard around here. That is a long stint. But say if anybody on track at the moment could do that, it's probably Checo. So we shall see. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I saw Kai. I was literally on you at the time when it happened. When all of that happened, in fact. So. Oh, really, Glitch? You're up from 17th to 11th as well. Ah, right, and Kai's just made me aware that there is rain halfway through. Okay. You can certainly understand why so many started on hards then. You want to make sure they can get to the rain without pitting. If it's halfway through, presumably, it must be right where you think you could probably get the mediums to as well. Is the safety car going to come in this time? It's just Racer is a little bit off. I don't think it has, is it? No, we're going to do another lap. To be fair, we'd only just picked it up that lap. That's the one thing around here, because the laps, well, it is the longest lap of the season now, in fact. Spa, in terms of time. So it is a case of the safety car does take an age to complete a lap around here, to be honest. Yeah, Kai. Yeah, if come the end of the race, if the 3 seconds affects your finishing position, then I would say definitely try and get the penalty removed. It shouldn't do that. You're supposed to have the 3 warnings, well, the 2 warnings, and then on the 3rd one you get your 3 seconds, not straight away. So. So, we'll be getting ready to go racing the end of this lap. So, lap 4, we resume. That will mean 19 laps remaining. And, still anybody's at the moment. Let's hope everybody gets through the restart okay. Yeah, Kai, but yeah, you shouldn't get a triple warning though, should you? You should get one, so it's, that's what I mean. Like you said, oh, so what's happened to Tomo? He's back. Before I can get down to him, he's already back up and running. But I'm just going to turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone, guys, because it's starting to affect the game on my screen, and I can't. The drivers are lagging about for me because of the Wi-Fi on the phone. It's starting to make the drivers lag about for me, and I keep thinking people are going off track when they haven't. So, in a way, when will they go? Safety car has just reached the pit entry. So it's actually quite late. They've stayed very close to the back of the safety car. And Tornado holds it. And he has gone now. Head down to turn 1 then. And, ooh, Red Bull. Guys, just a little out of shape. It's looking vulnerable. Looks like the leaders are going side by side. Bro Rouge, they do that very nicely indeed. Golden Tornado seems to have the better exit, and I think we're going to stay side by side. But RKA overall looks like he's probably running. Well, actually, do you know what? Probably 1 notch downforce lower. But, And Tornado holds it through the corners though, and stays in P1. So Tornado leads from RKA. Kai recovered that, by the way, to P3. So that's very good work from him, right on the back of RKA. So they head down to Pouon. And somebody's out. Tomo's out. He's on the right-hand side through Pouon. I'm not quite sure how that's ended up in a retirement just there. And it's caused a safety car, but it is a virtual safety car, not a full safety car. So, yeah, I've no idea how you can actually retire there from Tomo. So, I can only assume that somebody's going to be heading into the pits with damage at the end of this lap. It's a brilliant restart, though, from the top guys. Really good battling. And, as I said, it is still a VSC. The safety car has not left the pit lane. There is a pitter. Piccoloco's in. So, whether that was him involved with Tomo or something else, or whether he's decided to change tyres. He did start on the mediums, didn't he? But he's already out on the way and on his way. Still under VSC. This is a long VSC. And now off it goes. Away we go. Tornado's pulled himself a little advantage then. He's timed his restart very nicely as RKA will have to defend from Kai, but Kai has now got Glads all over the back of him. See, very close in the top sort of, I think it's the top 7. I might just go to this battle behind slightly. It's 4 cars. So this is TTV Glads, who is being followed by Maxwell Vambis, Chespin and Jan. Racer picks up a pen. And side by side here. This is Jan trying to get past Chespin. And he does. Chespin leaves plenty of room. And into P6 now then for Jan. And he'll be looking to get... Well, I mean, he already is on the back of Maxwell, who's just outside the 1 second, but we're not quite at DRS yet. In fact, DRS has not activated. Oh, actually, has it? It might be active, because we only had a virtual. That's a good question. Do laps done under virtual count? Yes, they do, because DRS is open. So, up into P5 now then for Jan, and he'll start getting after Glads, who's caught up to the guys ahead. And Kai is up into P2. Gaps to Tornado just over a second. Battle continues, and a little bit of a gap's just created to Kai for RKA. He obviously needs to keep it within the 1 second, but in fact he has just dropped out of the 1 second, so he is going to become very vulnerable now to Glads, who's got Jan going up the inside of him. Outside as it is now. Ooh, oh, they have the tiniest little bit of contact. Just sends Jan slightly wide, but he's still ahead. The way he brakes there made me think that maybe the game told him to give it back. Maybe the overtake was deemed to be off track. And the game maybe told him to give it back, so Glads remains P4 for the moment. RKA has actually fought his way back into the 1 second of Kai. When you saw there, Glads just not quite getting that corner right, and it's allowed Jan right onto the back of him. And he's gone at the inside into this long right-hand hairpin, and up the inside he goes. So Alfa Romeo now run P4, P3, P4. Yeah, and on the medium tyres, he should still have a little bit of a tyre advantage. We've done so many laps under the safety car. But, they shouldn't... Obviously, they will still wear under the safety car, but they shouldn't be too bad yet. Again, Kai is getting very... He seems to be fast through Sector 2, Kai, doesn't he? That's what I've seen, in a way. Yeah, and then once the straight line speed kicks in, the Alfa Romeo... See, okay, he's not using... He's not using energy there to catch Kai. That was genuine front straight line speed. Kai very, very close to getting himself back within the 1 second of Golden Tornado, who's probably quite happy to have been quite lonely since the restart, really, since the actual virtual safety car restart, I mean. Now, how much do these two consider themselves to be teammates? Because they've only just started racing together. The last race was really the first time they raced together. But the problem is that we're at a point now where the potentially the hard tyres, compared to the mediums, are really starting to come into their own. So I can't imagine RKA is that interested in giving the place up. Sent by his teammate being Jan. But so I went to that view so that I could see if there was any rain, because it does look a bit misty, a bit dreary on the screen. There's gaps at the moment, but here's a battle. So Winter Place in the Mercedes, Baz in the Red Bull. Winter Place is a 2 second deficit to Bob Dylan at the moment, so Baz clearly have an opportunity. Just look to see if there's any damage. Yeah, okay, so Winter Place may become a little bit difficult to overtake in a straight line here. He's not got an M plate on the car, so he's missing an M plate. You notice there, the left M plate is missing, so he's gonna have a little bit less downforce on the front wing. But let's see. I mean, he appears actually like he's gotten away from Baz quite nicely. Oh, we got to... now the Alfa Romeos have changed position at the end of the long straight. Whether that was deliberate or not, got a feeling it probably wasn't. As penalties are starting to fly up all over the screen at the moment, and Black Reaper has just gotten himself ahead of Racer and into P16 as he goes about his business. Not a great day at the moment for the two Ferraris, but Piccoloco doing what he can to fight his way back through, get back up the field a bit. And we have a yellow flag. Oh, there is a car. It's an Alfa Romeo and it's RKA. having to wait a long time before he can get going again. In fact, he's rejoined just in front of Ferraris. Vulnerable here as he presumably will need to get the temperature down on those tyres, and that ain't going to help. He's ran wide into the gravel a little bit. Just to get back on. It's these straights that will help you get the temperature down on tyres, so you have it. And, well, Picoloco's into the pits. I wasn't expecting to see any pit stops until the rain. Presumably RKA's is because his tyres are just gone. Well, apparently it is raining, because Picoloco is onto intermediate tyres. I can't see any rain. It's not always, when you're spectating as a commentator, it's not always easy to spot the rain, if I'm honest. So I would certainly trust these guys who are actually racing. Yeah, I just saw it for the first time. Just seen it for the first time, so it is raining. Can't say at the moment that the guys on slicks look like they're particularly struggling. Yeah, just... Well, to the guy directly ahead of him, Picoloco is absolutely flying compared to the guy directly ahead of him. Yeah, no, he's getting away from RKA, who is going to be so annoyed. He's gone on to fresh medium tyres, RKA. Think about changing. The fact that Picoloco is pulling away from RKA, who's on fresh mediums, tells us that this track is ready for intermediates. I would actually say that it's really tight at the moment. It's RKA actually just pulled a bit of that time back, so it looks really, really close as to... Well, DRS has just been disabled. That's usually a sign. But RKA did just pull a big chunk of time back on Picoloco, but we saw Picoloco make a little bit of a mistake, so it was probably down to that. But, certainly for these leaders, when they get round again, it's going to be ideal for them. Those guys going past the pit should be coming in. For RKA, there's no doubt. Would have been much better served getting to the intermediates, but obviously hadn't realised. Oh, Kite catches the inside curb at Pouat. But no reset to tracks allowed, so has to recover the car himself, and does that in P6. Fortunately there, the touch on the inside curb at Pouat mixed with the wet weather. And now these guys are looking like they're being a bit more careful to me. Look how careful Golden Tornado's having to be. This has gotten really wet all of a sudden. Let's just go to Picoloco. He's now on the back of a dry weather tyre guy. Those front guys will be coming in, guys. There's no way they're staying out. Black Reaper speeding under... Oh, we had a VSC. My apologies. I don't even know we had a VSC. Hadn't even noticed the flags. But all of them will come in. All going to come in. And, just let him through, lads. Racer, no point racing him. He's on intermediates. He's on the right tyre. Battle somebody in that situation. You're not only holding them up, you're holding yourself up as well doing it. So there's no real point. Anyway, let's get to the leaders. So Golden Tornado exits the pit, still in the lead with Jan following him, both on intermediates. Black Reaper is out. Is that in the pits? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's an in the pits retirement from Black Reaper. I don't know why that is. Well, not my league, guys, but just a commentator here. But in my league, I'd certainly want to know why he's retiring. Oh, Baz has gone past the pit, still on the mediums, and he's struggling now, look. Oh, round again. Right, that's enough of watching Baz's pain. Checo's still on the hards as well. They need their armbands out there at the moment. Yeah, see me. He has had a unlucky one so far. 6 seconds, had a little spin as well. But still plenty of time to go. He's certainly shown he's got great pace today. And this is now the battle for the lead. So Jan, with a bit of patience today, has eventually found himself through in P2. Some of it work he's done himself, some of it has been handed to him. But regardless of how he's done it, he has done it, and he's into P2. And looking like he's beginning to give Tornado a bit of a hard time. So I'm not able to get close enough on that occasion. So Tornado looks like he's got good straight line speed. So could well be that Tornado could be most vulnerable through Sector 2. As the rest of the drivers pit. And Winter Place is out, and that's Eau Rouge. That could be a safety car. That's a guaranteed safety car, isn't it? All the yellows come out. And he's over on the right hand side just there. After car missing by the looks of it. And that is a full safety car. So, well, 2 safety cars, both caused by accidents through Eau Rouge, and which was bound to happen after I said that the second of the 2 right-handers seems to be the worst corner now for incidents. We haven't seen one there yet. It's like Eau Rouge is saying, nah, I'm still the man. I'm still the man that claims the most. So, well, just check the penalties quickly. 6 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, or 6 seconds. So, nobody's got any penalties that they can get rid of by pitting. So, I wouldn't expect any of the drivers to pit here. It should just be as you are. It's still going to be a long safety car because the back of the field, RKA at the moment, some way down. Look at Piccoloco's in 9th, so if RKA... Well, Piccoloco's 9th with a 15-second gap, so if RKA had switched to the Inters, you would presume you'd currently be running in P10, but I'll rub it in, sorry. Sorry, RKA, that wasn't very nice. Well, Piccoloco's pitting then. I'm not too sure why, unless he needs a wing. There's nothing wrong with that wing. And it is intermediates going onto the car. Well, I'll tell you why. The reason he's pitted is because he's got the gap, so why not? Or has he? Because it looks to me like Checo's going to get past. No, he's not, you know. That was clever from Piccoloco. He noticed he had the gap to the car behind. To be able to stick a fresh set of inters on. Okay, he wouldn't have had much wear on his inters after 3 laps. These inters seem to go forever, don't they? So he would have... I can't imagine he had much more than about 6 or 7% at most, really. But Bob Dylan puts on a fresh set as well. So that drops Bob to the back. But with the nice tyres. Oh, Jan! Jan's made a mistake at Pouon. And he drops from P2 to P8. Oh, goodness me. Of all the times to do it, it's under safety car. After a few of them have caught up. And he's lost 6 places down to P8. And almost in a way to make matters worse, he's going to have Piccolova on the back of him with his fresh tyres. So I don't think that the Inters are going to have hardly any wear on him in a way, so it probably won't make that much difference. But Piccolova, a quick driver in his own right, with a ever so slight tyre advantage, is not really somebody you want on the back of you. So let's have a quick look at the position changes. Who's standing out? Raptor. I have to admit, my apologies, Raptor, but I've got to admit, I kind of forgot you were in the race. And silent but deadly today, pal. Up 13 places to 7th. And no doubt we'll only be looking forward. But we'll see. We all know it's just not easy in the rain. It's not easy to get past people. It's not easy to no DRS. So you've got to do it old school. Pick up the toe, move out of the toe, and make the overtake. Usually by being late on the brakes. The latest in the late breakers. So you would assume, just waiting on Bob to catch back up, but I would assume that this will be the last lap under safety car. So we'll get going again lap 16, which means 7 laps remaining. And this weather, it doesn't look like it's gonna. I mean, it's not raining heavy enough to get to full wets by the looks of it to me. And I'm sure if it was going to go to full wets before the end of this race, that somebody would have gambled and gone to full wets. But so this tells me that I don't think there's any chance of it happening. So if you're someone like Bob, for example, that's down towards the back, at the back, Baz maybe. You know, you might say to yourself, do you know what? You never know. Stick on a set of wets, and if it happens quickly, you end up essentially on the podium, maybe even winning the race. But as I say, unfortunately today it doesn't look like it's going to get there. Not even close. Does that car look like it wants to go round on him? A little tip for people, actually: if you don't use traction, I'm not a traction player. I use no traction. If you don't use traction, it is a good idea to lower your front wing in the if it starts raining. I expect it probably is if you use medium traction as well, actually. But yeah, if you know traction, I really strongly suggest doing that. And I think we're going around again. The safety car didn't react to Bob catching the back in time, so we're going to do another lap. Another 3-minute lap behind the safety car. Lovely. Anybody said anything in the chat I could react to? You're not driving bad, Kai. Come on. It's fine, mate. And yeah, you like these conditions, so driving very well. You had an unlucky penalty. You picked up another penalty, which is only 3 seconds, and you've had one little spin because you caught a curb. It's not. I wouldn't say you're driving badly at all. Certainly not the first person to spin on the inside curb at Pouon. You certainly won't be the last. So then it's going to be lap 17 out of 22 that we resume, so 6 laps remaining. Looking at the time from the next stream, it should be fine. Should be done by 10:2. As long as we don't have any quick incidents that cause another safety car, we should be fine. So there's the confirmation safety car in this lap. So Golden Tornado has led vast majority of this race. Can he hold off Glads, Chespin, Kai, Maxwell, Hazer, Raptor, Jan, Picoloco, Checo, Ghost Rider, Racer, Baz, RKA and Bob Dylan to take the checkered flag at Spa-Francorchamps. When will he go on this occasion? The safety car is into the pits, so it's up to him now. And when a leader dictates the pace, and he has gone. So looks like he got a pretty good restart. Glad seems to react pretty well. And oh, there is a spinner on the restart, and it's Ghost Rider. That's pretty close to the exit of the chicane, so I think that is just a spin. Apologies, I obviously had to go down and watch him when I saw the yellow flag. So Kai side by side with Maxwell. So he gets the place, and Hazer's taking advantage as well. And oh, and we've lost Bob Dylan through Eau Rouge. We'll probably get away without a safety car at this point. Yeah, his car has been removed. So unlucky Bob. And all sorts of things happening at the moment. Kai and Maxwell still battling. Oh, cheeky Hazer, wasn't it? Nip past Kai, took advantage there, nip past Kai, a tiny bit of contact there. So it comes back onto track. I think that was fair to just get back on. He's pushed off a little bit. So it's always difficult. Oh, and eventually there's contact that spins him round. And yeah, that's the problem with driving that close to someone. But they both, unfortunately, dropped down because of that. Because Kai ran out wide as well. So at the moment, Golden Tornado leading and doing very nicely indeed. Jan and Raptor have swapped positions, so Raptor just ahead of, sorry, Jan just ahead of Raptor now. And the local right on the back of Raptor as well. So Picoloco's recovered up to P7. He's doing very nicely now. Just wondering, you know, if this rain is getting a bit on the heavy side. Not really puddles appearing, is there? You can see shiny sort of surface area along the track, but you wouldn't really say that that's puddles appearing on the track though. So it's when puddles, actual puddles, start appearing on the track that's usually that's the time when you need to switch to wets. But with how close we are to the end of this race, whether anybody would bother now, I mean, you have to. If the track gets too wet, you have to switch really, because you'll hemorrhage time on inters. But just doesn't look like it. Even if it does reach the point where it is too wet, it's not getting wetter that quickly. So I don't know if the drop off on the inters would be worth the pit stops. But we do have two drivers that have gone to wet, so Maxwell and Ghost Rider have done it. We're going to get an idea from them whether it's ready. I think we're right on the crossover at the moment. Quite honestly, I don't think any of the top guys are going to pit. And Maxwell is starting to catch Baz. Oh, that's Jan-Rained. And that is a spinner at that right-hander that I mentioned. Double right-hander, the second one. And he, in the end, drops down to P11. So presumably that's a spin. I mean, you know, I can't be sure that it could have been a contact. At the moment, so obviously, as I said, the one to watch really is Maxwell in P13 and Ghost Rider 14, who have both gone to the wet tyres. At the moment, Maxwell is catching the car ahead of him. The car ahead of him is Baz. He's on intermediate tyres. He's not exactly, I don't think at the moment the gap's coming down quick enough to warrant a change. There's no doubt they are struggling on inters. They're definitely struggling. I tell you what, if we had just a couple more laps left of this race, with it raining like this, these boys could have made a great shout, you know, but I think they're just going to run out of time. No doubt the gap's down to 27.5, so it was over 30 when he came out the pits, so it is coming down. Again, it's not coming down quick enough. Ghost Rider had a little moment there. Kai might have as well, I'm not sure. Kai's dropped down to P12. So let's go to Piccologo, by the way, who's right on the back of Raptor. Piccologo does love these conditions. It's very good in these conditions. And Hazer, on debut, by the way, up into P3. Does have a penalty, so he's going to have to create a gap to hold on to that podium, but he is up into P3. This Kai retires out in the pits. He's had enough for the evening. It's been a difficult race, but I think, Kai, I think if there is something you can take away from this race, is that you've definitely had the pace. There's no ifs or buts about that. I think you had the pace to certainly challenge for the victory today. It's just one of those, it wasn't to be, unfortunately. Flip down to Jan. And oh yeah, no, sorry, that was just confusing me a little bit because there was a yellow flag in sets of one, but it's because Kai's car has come back out on track, but it's just disappeared now. It looks to me like Maxwell Van Beest has lost time to Baz, so because he had got that back down to easily under 29 seconds, wasn't it? So either he's had a little moment that's lost in time, or the track's dried up a bit. So certainly now, I think we could definitely say it's not going to work out for Maxwell and Ghost Rider, unfortunately. But fair play to them. The race wasn't going right for them, so they gave it a shot. They gambled, and it could have ended up earning them some places if it had gotten wet enough. But it's not got there in the end today. And Maxwell picks himself up a penalty as well. Almost rubbing salt into the wounds, really. But at the moment, Hayes is doing a really good job of trying to get away from Chespin here. For whatever reason, Hayes are looking good in these conditions. Oh, unfortunately, that's Ghost Rider, and that's on that right-hander again. So it has claimed a victim today from the race, and that victim is Ghost Rider. I'm trying to catch his little battles, but every time I move to one, the gap seems to get bigger. Let's try this one. This is the two Alfa Romeos. Whether they're going to bother battling or not, I'm not sure. They're both reasonably new to the league, and with us being on round 10, it's not likely. Well, actually, no. What am I talking about? I was going to say it's not likely they're going to get themselves into contention, but actually, Jan is already into P2, isn't he, in the drivers? So it is important. And you've got to say, the result really, with Raptor leading the drivers at the moment from Jan, I don't know what happened to him in Quali 2, but whatever happened meant he started 10th. Raptor down at the back. It was a real opportunity today for Jan to close the gap up a bit more on Raptor, but as it stands, Raptor looks like he's going to pull out. I was going to say 9 points, but actually, oh, RKA gets up alongside Racer. Jan's going to take advantage of this. Look at Jan on the inside. He's in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. Your Racer here. Don't. Ooh. Oh, I think RKA had to give the position back because I think he actually overtook on the while he was off track. But I would say to Racer here, don't worry too much about this. You got a chance of picking up the final point on your debut. I wouldn't go losing that just because of trying to battle for one extra point. So let's bring the penalties up, guys. We're on the final lap, so let's see how things could be affected. So Golden Tornado looks like he's going to hold off Glads to take the victory. But Hazer then needs to play out another 3 attempts to hold on to his podium. And Chespin is under attack at the moment from Raptor. 6 seconds for Picker Loco, but the fact that the car behind him by 5.3 seconds has a 3-second penalty means that Picker Loco will hold that position. I think he's done a grand job as well today in fighting back. And Jan looks like he's going to nick an extra position off of Checo, so he is going to minimise the damage somewhat. Well, it looks like Hayes is just going to lose out. He's not. He's lost a little bit of time. So let's go to our leader in a way. So Golden Tornado is going to win the Spa-Francorchamps Belgian Grand Prix for McLaren. TTB Glads P2 on his return. Hazer crosses the line in P3, but the penalty means he drops to 4th. Chespin fills the podium. Raptor takes P5, having started from the back of the grid. Piccoloco in the P6 with a brilliant fight back. Jan in the end then picks up 7th. He's minimised the damage in the end, and he'll pick up 6 points to Raptor's 10. So, you know, it's a lot better than what it was looking like literally a couple of laps before the end. So, anyway, Checo picks up some nice points. RKA and P9. Racer on debut picks up a single point as well, so well done, Racer. Baz just misses out by just a 10th of a second over the line, and Maxwell, unfortunately, the switch to wets just didn't work. There was a bit there where we was really starting to gain some time, but I can only assume the track dried a bit. Back up there. The track dried up a bit again. So in a way, driver of the day, I am going to give to our winner for his first win in Wheel Spin Racing. So Golden Tornado, once he got the lead, he stayed there and dealt with the subsequent safety car as well. It's always a potential banana skin, but he's driven exceptionally well today. No worries, Kai. Didn't work for you today, mate, but like I said, it's take away the fact that your pace was definitely looked brilliant tonight. You really did look quick tonight, so take that away as a positive, buddy. But, yeah. Hey, Whoopi. Obviously, as you can tell, we've just finished, so I'm going to be in to the lobby just a moment. So let me just do the usual bits here. So just scroll down through. Fastest lap of the race was Kai's on a 47.2. Obviously, won't get the point for that. I don't know if anybody will get the point for that, will they? Does it go to the next fastest? If it does, I really don't know if it does or not. The next fastest, though, was Jan, so he would pick up an additional point to help in not losing so many points. Just scroll through the incidents. I'm going to scroll a bit quicker than that because there's quite a few. You'd expect quite a few, and you're going to get a few in a way because every corner cutting warning goes on there, so it always happens, and there's the pit stops. So there we go. That tells the story of the race. So congratulations to the top three. Golden Tornado, really well done on your first win in the league, and taking my driver of the day today as well. So massive well done to you. Congratulations. But also well done, of course, to the other podium guys as well. And to be honest, well done to all of you that got to the end in that, because that was clearly very difficult. But I'm certainly taking away a positive today, because what I've seen, not just today, but last week as well, is that the league is getting back to the clean racing. And I know there are some people who hear that, and I know people have had incidents and they may not be too happy at the moment. But overall, as a whole race, I can see it happening from the comms side of it, that we're getting back to the good, clean racing that we were having when for the last two seasons. So we're heading in the right direction, in my opinion. In a way, guys, as you all know, I've got another comms to do immediately, so I'm going to nip off. But yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm going to nip off. So thank you to everybody that's watched live and kept me company. Thanks to everybody that's watches the stream back as well. I really appreciate it. The leagues really appreciate it. All the leagues I do really appreciate it. HRF1 is coming up in like 10 minutes-ish. 9 minutes it is. So I'm going to go straight into their lobby and go back live as quickly as I can. It'll probably be about 5 minutes. So I'll see you then. If you fancy joining and watching a bit of that with me and keeping me company, I'll appreciate that. But otherwise, I'll see you soon. Good night.